You can't walk away from Netflix. You gotta look at Netflix today. Please look at it. Another record high for the stock, as it just reported that it added 3 million more subscribers. That's about 1 million extra subscribers, paying customers each and every month. Tech editor from Mashable, Christina is with us. I think this stock has gone to the moon. And it has doubled this calendar year, which is most unusual for a company of this size. It's doubled. I think they are winning the battle to be the entertainment organization in your living room. That's why they're up.
They definitely are. You know, I mean, we were talking before the segment, rather than tuning into regular network television, we tune into Netflix, and it's increasingly becoming the destination for people all over the world.
They've got 2 new original productions. There's Marvel.
Yes.
That's multiple shows. It's a series, in fact. And Grace and Frankie, starring Jane Fonda.
Yes.
That's another series that's going to be endlessly repeated.
Yes. So they have both original television series, and they're doing quite well with that. And they're also breaking into original movies, which is kind of their next frontier. So historically, Netflix started out as kind of a place where you would rent movies. And the streaming service has basically become a really big destination for television shows. But and it's expensive for them to buy movies to basically be able to present them. You know, they have to pay big bucks for first-run rights for movies. So rather than paying these first-run fees, they're saying, well, we'll just make the movies ourselves.
They make their own.
Yes.
That's right. So instead of 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, whatever it is, instead of tuning into the broadcast networks for your regular entertainment, which we've had for a couple of generations, instead of doing that, you click onto Netflix. And you can watch what you want whenever you want. That's the whole point.
That is the whole point. And then I think going into the feature-length film segment really opens them up to disrupting that market, too, because we've seen theater attendance declining year over year. And if they're getting into the original, theatrical industry, rather than going to the cinema, you might just turn on Netflix.
I'm interested in when they get to China. When are they going to get into China? Have I got a full screen, please, of Reed Hastings and what he said about getting into the China market? He said, as I recall, he said, here we go. So China, again, we still have some things to figure out, so I suppose it's possible to get into China in 2016. He supposes it's possible.
They're not getting into China in 2016.
They're not.
No, that's not going to happen. I mean, China is a complicated issue. It's a humongous addressable market, but you have to look at the infrastructure, how many people there have access to broadband and to devices that would play Netflix. There's the question of piracy and of digital rights. But the bigger issue is actually getting the content deals worked out in China. And that's already something that they struggle with in other countries as they're expanding, is getting the rights for this content to be viewable in other countries. It's one thing for the U.S., it's one thing for Canada, it's one thing for the U.K. Once you start getting into Latin America and Asia, it becomes a lot more complicated. I
will guarantee that if and when Reed Hastings says we're in China at a certain point, that stock goes up.
Absolutely.
I will guarantee. Well, I don't know. I won't guarantee it, but I think it's going to happen.
I think if they can make China work, then they're just going to continue to soar.
You got it. Christina, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.